I think Someday coming into our roster was pretty weird at first, but he's actually a really cool guy, and he was super down to help us with things, and he's always a leader in comms that kind of gets us where we need to be. I think before, we all kind of pitched into comms, but now that we have Someday, he's kind of a more vocal leader, I guess, for our team, so we kind of look up to him for comms.
Welcome back, just in time for Game 4, which has OpTic Academy competing in a must-win game versus 100 Thieves Academy. We just heard Prismal chatting a bit. And while that statement might seem like hyperbole, that the win statement, the team's playoff chances are hanging by a thread, given the strength of their opponents in the weeks to come. It's going to be tough.
It is looking rough for OpTic Academy. They are facing Cloud9 Academy, TSM Academy, Golden Guardians Academy, TLA Academy, and Fox, all of the teams that are ahead of them. So
Painful.
It is a very difficult battle when you're up against teams that you have not been able to beat so far. However, the introduction of a new patch might just be exactly what OpTic needs, a team that prides itself in creativity. This could be the time for them to shine and do everything that they've always dreamed of doing.
You got to listen to Prismal. 100 Thieves are feeling good, and that's going to be a tough thing to beat for OpTic.
Yeah, when you got Someday in the top lane, you feel like you can do anything in the Academy League. So no matter what, you're up against Someday, who has given them 5 wins in a row, but they've also made Anda be surprisingly good now, who was removed from LCS, put into Academy, and after a few days, he's been crushed.
True. Where's that World Spark? Bring it back. So let's meet the players prepping for battle. Starting on the blue side, it's 100 Thieves. That means in the top lane, it's Someday. It's today. There's Anda in the jungle, slowly going mid. Prismal at bot, Stunt at support, and Coach Kelsey Moser.
And selecting the red side, it's OpTic Academy with Alarim in the top lane, Darduck in the jungle, Scarlet in the mid lane, Asta on bot, his support is Gate, and their coach, Coops.
I've been enjoying Scarlet's play as well as he came into the scene. It was cool to see him on the LCS stage and not doing quite well in both of his plays. So the skill that's still coming up really excites me, because there was a point in time for League when it was kind of like, hey, we're losing a lot of our what would be varsity players.
Yeah.
Is there something to fill this? Is there still a genre of players that wants it that hard? And yeah, there is. We just hadn't untapped that pool yet, because it is a dam that just opened wide open.
Revenge clearly wants it as well. So we got players in positions where they didn't even know it was possible to say, you know what, I can put my other things in life on hold.
It happens.
I'd do it, man. I'd do it again a million times over with what I know now. I'd do it sooner.
I would have been better.
Oh yeah, I would have been so much better.
I took a backseat too quick. It was really hard though. In like early 2000s, to get a team, get a server, get sponsors, get anything. Now sponsors are like, can we put our name right here?
I can't imagine what it would have been. Like as a 7-year-old trying to find sponsors, I would have been really gimped into diapers only.
Hey man, MeUndies, it's still there. 75 versus 5 and 7 for 100 Thieves Academy and OpTic on that score sheet. Aatrox's first pick. They broke the synergy since Sejuani was banned. I felt a shift in the polls. That was weird.
The polls have shifted, and it's also because Silas was banned too. I think that's what happened, right? Because the Sejuani was the last
Silas to steal the ban. Good thought.
So that to me tells me that we have reached a new standstill, a new premier counter to Sejuani, and it's Silas, which is more exciting than Trundle. I'll tell you that one. Definitely more exciting than Trundle.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yuumi Sivir, Taster's Choice bot lane on the side of OpTic Academy. Everybody loves that. Play the Sivir against Yuumi and with Yuumi. Works out both ways, but having it there is a good combo for Asta and Gate.
You know what I used to do back in the day?
Not until you tell me.
We used to cycle through champions spelling things. So you
we noticed. And then would be like, stop that, because you're going to freeze champion selects.
Oh, but so before we actually started doing it with the bans, when you're in a match and you don't care about the bans, so you just ban champions that the first letter spell out a specific words. We got disallowed from doing that anymore, but players can still cycle through champions. So if you're ever finding yourself looking for an extra layer of interest, just look to see what the first letters of the champion spell.
Do you have an always hover?
An always hover.
You know, like Stixxay hovers Warwick.
Right.
Do you feel like there needs to be?
So
I guess no, but
so
are you inclined?
I
to
always hover when I know that it's going to directly affect the either crowd or the opponents that I'm up against. So like if the crowd is all about a team, I'll hover a Teemo here and there. But most of all, it's like I know that last week I scrimmed against him and I played like, I don't know, jungle Galio, and they canceled scrims because they were tilted from it. Then I'll hover the Galio and remind them, hey, this happened.
That's the kind of crap we don't get. When the players are like, oh ho 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 ho, and you're like, wait, why did he do that?
Right, it's that. Or when you see them laughing at each other, and it's because they're typing.
Hey, pick some bands. Anyway,
they're doing them.
They are doing them. We're into the second phase. Poppy and Syndra coming out. We only really missed the Nautilus and Callista here with Corki. We had the other three as things are going slow. They are definitely rolling the time down. There's Nico. You mentioned that earlier that we hadn't seen too much of it in Europe. It was pretty hot on the Nico play. And a Rengar to take another assassin out. Do not want two cats in the same game.
Especially not on the same team.
No way.
That's too much. No, too much kitten power. For lack of a better word.
I almost used the Zales line from the, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Cats versus
It's a good line.
It's a good line. Ornn. I like Ornn. I feel like that's a very Alorum champion. Alorn. He's in there. He's gonna lock it in. Victor coming out maybe? Definitely just completely diverting from a few of the picks we've seen today. You still got the Corki and the Yuumi in there. Aatrox. Victor will get locked in. Let's see what we have here for the final two pickups. 100 Thieves Academy looking for a jungler.
Roll the dice, please. 100 Thieves will select probably Jarvan.
I was gonna say, would you pick Jarvan against this comp? Because it doesn't look like
Jarvan.
many people can hop out of it. Once you're in, you're in.
It's just so easy, right? You just, all right, I don't know what to pick. We'll go Jarvan. Oh, Elise. So when you lock Elise with a physical bruiser top laner, it says camp top. There's nothing more to it. It's camp top operation. And Ornn is going to be really easy to kill with that.
So I feel like as an Ornn, you just wall charge your turret when you get dove, and you're good to go.
Doesn't matter. Because Elise will tank the tower shot.
It would be Elise first,
and then dodge away from you. So yeah, you can hit her and she can take 2 turret shots, but she'll still live.
True. I liked Ornn support for a little bit. It was fun to troll people as they try to go back to the turret and you just bash against the wall. You have a pretty good distance. Ornn support was egregiously powerful when he could, especially when he had the unstoppable with his bellows breath.
I like seeing a lot of those tank supports, but then it gets so rough to balance that when you have the poking supports, the mages, where you, as a tank support, you're either tanky enough to sustain it, which makes you overpowered, so you're at every other lane, or you're strong enough to survive it, which often relies on the jungler to gank your lane. So the mages really just push the tanky boys out of the way.
All right, about to get a champion select for 100 Thieves versus OpTic. Like we said, OpTic will need a win here. They want to find themselves moving forward, and they have to get that victory here against 100 Thieves, who have found themselves playing quite well lately. Someday, as we heard from Prismal bringing in back that communication to the team that they kind of thought they had, but we're able to add a little bit more. You can always add a little bit more.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Except when your cup is full.
No, remember? You can get that kind of polar action magnetic O2.
Oh yeah, you're right. When the water is above
I was
it.
just word
the
training,
surface
by the way.
tension.
I'm really glad you knew what I was talking about, because that was a word train. The water holding tension surface.
I mean, I think if it were up to me, no joke, I would communicate in more grunts and less words.
Well, you would have a spectacular vernacular.
That's all it is, right? When you talk, you're just hoping the other person gets you. It doesn't what you say, how you say it does, as long as the other person gets it. You're fine.
Dude, I already knew what you were saying when you started the sentence.
It's like, yeah, why did you finish it? You should have just grunted.
You should have just grunted. Let's resort to that in a fight. Maybe not. So a quick start off with Spiderlings. Talisman Undertow start. Dardoch stays nice and healthy. Oh, he's going to be calling out the cards this game. We got Ref Olaf in here.
How can you be a ref and drunk? Is that how most sports fans feel, like their refs are drunk?
Yes, actually, you pretty much nailed it on the head with that one. That was a good one. Easy farmer to start it off.
Oh, perfect CS for someday. Let's see if Alarim gets it too. He should be just fine.
It always feels so good when you get perfect CS, but if you miss one, you're like, oh, my opponent probably thinks I suck. I wonder if I can use that to my advantage. You're like, how do I make myself good in this situation?
And then you realize, wait a minute, it is I who sucks. I think I suck.
I can't. I just can't. It doesn't work that way. Oh, don't miss CS. The relics there, waiting for the cannon minion to come up. Nice job by Stunt. Just holding those relics, man. Top tier play. Good cleanup by Prismal. I don't think we'll get too much out of this lane to start. Really just pushing each other in with waves if Asta even starts to use the boomerang. Dardoch towards the top. Scuttle's about to be up in about 20 seconds, so.
Oh, he got in.
Or 5 seconds, I should say. Oh, someday.
This is the someday special, actually. Get first blood. He just got solo kill. Well, it's good for him.
I felt kind
to
of
get
bad
solo
for him
kill.
there. We're just walking it in. Let it happen.
Well, they don't have a
goes
TP
down.
advantage.
He saved his flash. So
Oh,
yeah,
this is gonna hurt OpTic.
that's what you were talking about. With that, Elise, they're able to get on the dive. There's one. The execute goes down. It's going to be the tank over on the side of Stunt, and now they get back on the gate. The 1-2, and thank you very much, says Anda. Beautiful Elise gank.
Whew, that really stings. Both kills going over to the jungler, and Dardoch went top to try to get that gank, but he wasted his time. He didn't get a single assist kill. Just a little bit of experience in shoving that minion wave. So now down in CS, this is Anda off to an outrageous start on Elise.
I mean, you talk about the little things Someday does. He actually denied an assist here in this. They're talking about the minions or all this other stuff he provides, but that's pretty big if you just saw Anda getting 2 kills bot and Dardoch found nothing.
Yeah, he got comboed, and I love seeing the fact that he's almost always giving first blood. Like, he's just always dying.
It's one of your favorite things.
But he finds a way to always stay relevant in the game, just being better than his opponent. And here, I mean, you could have missed half of the abilities that they chucked out and they still would have won the fight. There's just so much damage between a Nautilus with Ignite, an Elise, and the Callista that, you know, Qs could have missed and they're still pretty good.
Also, looking at the execution on that gank for the turret, it was really great. You have Anda, but he has double buff, so why chance the double buff wearing off when you can use it to continuously gank the other lanes? So they had Stunt tank it. And Anda never really took any damage. Really well thought out plays so far. Also giving aggression to Alarim in the top lane. Alorum, words and names, as his flash is now down. No plate here just yet. Still a little too early for that much damage to come through. But do they get the counter gank here? Dardoch is waiting for it. May have shown a little too soon as he thought Someday would get close. Nice dodge. They are hitting a few undertows here, and they have to consider how far they're going to go.
Oh,
almost
my
past
God.
the wave.
Absolutely disgusting.
That is painful.
That's hesitation. That's what it was. He's like, should I go for it? Should I not go for it? He decided to go for it a little bit too late.
It's when you see that extra damage. When you're just confident in your plays and you will pull the trigger and go for it. And with Dardoch, we expect him to be that kind of guy. We expect him to kind of just be all in, not think it's not going to work.
It's a tough one.
That was the face of his opponent.
That was a tough one, but I'm with you because when I saw him, it's like, it's an Olaf too. Like, Olaf should be going in on this one.
Right? You were ready after that dodge. The cocoon dodge you were in.
Yeah, I was, you know it, right away. When Cocoon missed, like, get on this spider.
I was ghosting, and I didn't even have ghost. 5 plates all around as we check the turrets. Yeah, I got it here for Scarlet. As he is cleaning up the waves, and no significant leads yet. You got a 10 CS lead over Alorum. He's Ornn. He's going to be a tanky beast anyways. 10 CS doesn't matter to him in lane. It's just going to be who hits 6 first, and he'll still be okay in a world ender situation as long as he's not getting ganked. And still trying to pressure those 2 kills. Almost got a 3rd one immediately after blowing Alorum's flash on the top side, and things have now panned out to this. Still don't have that package just yet for the Corki. But we are getting a bit of a rotation here by OpTic down towards the objective as they have map control.
This is a start that they can finish it, but they didn't clear out the vision, so this could be dangerous.
Nice block. That means they're going to get gate, though, as he can just attach himself right back to Asta.
Yeah, bad timing out of that Dragon because they had no pressure on their lanes. Without clearing the vision, everybody else could collapse. So they'll just have to reset. It's not the end of the world. Olaf can do it pretty quickly and can always farm as long as he's low HP.
Woo, spicy bot lane. Look at that. Cole Siver. Sounds like fun. Call field after that. So a little bit of damage was able to be threaded in there. Feels nice when you're not just kind of trying to hard farm under turret and asking your support for auto attacks.
I kind of wish Cole was an option for APs as well.
Interesting.
Right?
But you have your ring charging up and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
so
but
you get value out of that.
I want to see
Plus healing.
more items that allow you to be weaker early, but bank on scaling later.
I feel like mages are too safe though already.
So you think it's going to be OP for mages?
Well, then you have like what would be that lane we were talking about earlier, whereas you're Nasus against whoever can't hurt you, you're always going to be Nasus.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you give the ability, power, or mages a chance to do that, you're always going to have like an average breakpoint you hit in each game.
You're probably right. I'm sure they thought about it too, because it's not that hard to think about.
Boom. Clean up that CS. Get those relics in. I do like the idea of the item though, like at least something that builds for them. Besides the ring. We'll see. Maybe that's why we're not on the design team, because people would have rings on every finger for us.
That'd be a baller design team.
I got this necklace too. I'm gonna put it in my trinket slot. Chaos Storm down. Ooh, package used in defense. Not much Scarlet can do here. The map hasn't been opened up, and you're not gonna Valkyrie all the way down mid lane into the turret, so he just gets that one out before it wastes away.
Actually, I did shoot out an idea for a design idea.
Hit me.
So I think this is actually a really good one. It's a support. Now, I have not thought about anything about the support except this one ability. So it's a healing ability. But instead of being one of those, you know, shmony baloney Soraka heals.
No shmony baloney here.
It's an ability that you cast it on your AD carry, and they heal based on the damage that they deal. So it's like you give them, so it's like you give them lifesteal during the time.
Okay.
But if they don't get to heal off it, then there is a punishment. So you are penalized for misusing the ability. So
you're telling me I can be the support and just go around and tag my AD and penalize him all game?
No, you hurt yourself. You hurt your own cooldown.
Oh, Asta goes down. Looks like they need this item, Crumbs. Inject into the game now. Quick. Oh! He couldn't attack, so he hurt himself. No, it's a double kill going in. Prismo feeling great on this Callista, and now they are on to Dardoch. Dardoch usually does not have a game where he is running from his opponents. He's usually running at them, and this is not looking good for OpTic to start off in a game they very much need.
And the bottom lane is just completely in shambles right now. 100 Thieves is crushing every single lane. Farming, ganking, all inning. There's nothing they can't do.
They can stop on a dime.
That's actually really difficult now that I think about it.
It is.
Even
and
if
it's
you're
slippery, you wouldn't want to try.
Even if you're just
slide.
standing, how would you do that? A dime is a tiny object.
That's how Huffy sold their bikes.
Oh yeah, so the flashing gate.
Boom!
That is just really well played out of 100 Thieves and taking advantage off the levels and the lack of not Cole items. It was weird seeing Dardoch try to all-in Anda there, though. There was no chance he was going to get that.
Woo.
And he pays for it with his life.
Double buff to Prismal. Feels good for him. Scarlet to farm this up. Only down 3 CS. Actually, they're going to be even after he cleans that up. Almost even. Heraldine going down to Anda.
She's
That's right. When we cast together, it's Heraldine. About 2k life left.
she lived
40
a good life.
Flatline. Dardoch relegated to PvE for the time being. He has not had a good PvP instance anytime he has tried. And he is actually up a hell of a lot of farm, though, in power farming, though. So if he can start making up the kills, he catapults himself forward.
It's just the issue is it's an Olaf that's supposed to get ahead early, but
Yeah,
he's in the
that's a
right
good
place,
point.
right time here. Elise is here. If he bases, he misses out on the opportunity. He's staying. Here we go.
Oh, he's going for, he thinks the fight's gonna go down the lane, but he actually went down. The fight is not gonna last that much longer. They lose Alorum immediately, and now they're actually onto him. That's gonna be World Ender coming back up. The repel goes in, and Dardoch has to consider, how can I win this fight? Reckless Sling goes down. That's another shot at Someday, and lives with sub 100 HP.
Oh, and Harold Dean comes out, and now they get played. They're gonna go all the way with this one. That is disaster for OpTic Academy here. It really could not be going any worse.
Teleport to the bot side. This actually could just be another kill picked up. Asuka's gonna go down. Nice heal there. They get the boomerang on to stun. Backing out, Prismo could go down here. Tagged on, only one more missile in the bank. Now it's up to the auto attacks. If he can charge up another one, Scarlet is just looking for that cooldown. It's a big one that comes up, I believe, as well, but he gets the auto as they are forced to turn. There's a blast cone there, BT Dubs.
What is Prismal doing with his pathing? He's faster than Corky. He has tier 2 boots.
Oh, man.
He could have easily gotten out of that one, but hey, throwing OpTic Academy a bone. They need the win.
See where they go from here.
Executed.
All right, that'll do. High IQ play and low result distribution.
High IQ, low results. That's perfect.
All right, what's the next move here, Crumbs? This map is actually opened up in a really weird way. OpTic has no turrets if this outer one falls. How do they stop the bleeding?
Well, sometimes the best way to stop a bleeding arm is to amputate it.
Just cut it.
Just get rid of it altogether and focus on what you got going on for you instead. So, Olaf,
Just out, just out.
he's good. He's good. So they can forget about the bottom lane. That's the part I'm talking about amputating. Get rid of it.
Okay.
No chance. You're not going to win that 2v2. So focus on Sivir and Corky, your late games carries that will get Alorum's improved items.
And in position to do so. And maybe the Essence Reaver isn't on there for Asta. Yeah, he'll be able to clear waves if Baron comes later, but keep them alive for now and protect those members Crumbs is talking about. Here to the top side, Dardoch thought that was going for a full lane fight. You get the Ornhorn out, it goes down the lane, and you're chasing your opponents, but even under the turret here, it just wasn't working out.
Oh, and this really looked like that turret shot should have done him in, but Someday's already just so beefy. And how does this one play out that we get to see Someday force and execute at the Asta?
He's all the way over here. He's got to do full lane run. Oh, he flashed. Okay, flashed one.
Oh, and then the ward lane, he TPs. He must TP either to the ward lane. or
His
Super
flash
Elite.
made Final Chapter actually go into the wall instead of into their opponents, too. That's an oopsie. A little bit more communication on that bot lane dive, and they may be able to bring it out in a living situation. They are going to lose Dardoch once again. He is having a very rough game on the Viking and continues to get a Viking's funeral each time he makes himself present in the fight. We're getting a few back and forths here as they're now on to Asta, looking to take him down under the turret. 200 HP there, a heal coming in from Gate as the zoomies go on. And another double kill for Anda at 4-0-4 on this Elise pick.
He has just been crushing. The synergy between him and Someday to be involved in the same fight is so apparent. And this is why we saw an Elise ban in the last game.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
champion does command respect in the early game. And when it starts snowballing, it is an avalanche.
You almost guarantee, you were talking about it with that melee attack in the top lane, somebody like Aatrox and Elise, you get the dive out of nowhere. Aatrox revives, you're almost guaranteed the kill with Elise's damage. What a combo they've been putting together, and we see more fighting here in the mid lane.
And this is just double duty on the Nautilus ultimate, hitting both Yuumi and the Corky in that Prismal does get taken out, which is a nice little consolation prize for OpTic and LRM.
Yeah.
But the fact that they can just get away with these kinds of skirmishes that have a package that they focus the Olaf first out of anybody else is a telling sign of how far ahead 100 Thieves is.
I like where their vision is. 100 Thieves are placing river wards, which means they're trying to catch 100 Thieves. Or OpTic is placing river wards, so they're trying to catch 100 Thieves, making their way into the jungle. A lot of those are just being cleared right off the bat, though. Good vision scores all around. You can even see 34 for Anda as he clears, and maybe has zombies on himself, but 29 as well for Stunt, just barely hitting 20s on the side of OpTic. They can't keep their wards up or find ones to clear with the pressure on the map.
And now we got a Baron that's going to come up in 3 minutes. And if 100 Thieves just sticks around long enough, they'll be able to get it without a Mountain Drake. They don't need it. You've got Callista and Elise. Elise is fantastic at Baron as well because you got little Spiderlings to tank it and 2 instances of percent base damage.
Krupp. How's Aurelia fit right now?
She's permabanned.
That's what I thought. I don't think we saw her this game, though.
She's permabanned.
No, I mean, was she banned, though?
Yeah, Aurelia? She's typically first banned on blue side.
I don't remember seeing her banned on this one. Maybe she was. I'm just thinking of, like, with all the Triforces coming back for a few champions, that's always such a great spike to play around. If you can all hit that same timing and make something happen in an objective. I remember back TPA Worlds was based around
Nidalee with
Nidalee, Triforce, Aurelia, Jax, like that kind of stuff. Not that we'd see Nidalee.
Yeah, I mean, I think whatever you can stick a Triforce on, it'll work. Except Jax. Jax is actually not that good with Triforce. You need a lot more than that on him.
Freak buys Triforce all the time.
No,
it doesn't
like
work.
it's the perfect item for him.
I know.
You just need like 3 more. In pro
You just
play,
need to try
in
Triforce.
solo queue, you can do whatever.
The try. Final chapter. Nice dodge by Saligo here as it's really 100 Thieves controlling the map, finding these fights where they can decide in and out, and losing only one person does not cost them the map. They have a lot of room to work with. They've put OpTic in the back seat here as 100 Thieves are making sure these fights are in their favor. Big hit. Flashes over. The Brittle will not be procced for that percentage health damage, so they cannot follow up on Someday as he gets a quick Umbral dash back over the wall.
And Death Stance is just such a beautiful item for Aatrox. Lets him do whatever he wants. Full healing from his abilities when he's got that ultimate.
1,000 gold in bounty currently sits on the side of 100 Thieves. Only if they can pick it up.
Good math on that one.
Thanks, brother. If they could only pick it up. It's going to be tough, though. That's the biggest members that are lacking in deaths right now. Someday and Saligo, Prismal, and Stunt holding off well on Asta and Gate. Like you said, they pretty much made that a lane that needed to be amputated right away for OpTic. And now they're scrambling, trying to find a way that's going to be the most efficient to cover these last 2 outer turrets. Looks like they have some breathing room for Someday for now, but he's got to teleport to make it back there if he wants, or to this Baron as he walks back down to bot lane.
And there's no engage for OpTic Academy. It's only Alarum. He has to hit his R. Otherwise, nothing is happening, which is why a Jarvan would make a ton of sense for this comp, because you have physical damage, better ganking early, and beyond that, your attack speed steroid would make Sivir and Corki's late game crazy good. So the Olaf pick just making the mid-game comeback a lot harder out of OpTic, and it's typically why the Jarvan is so heavily prioritized. You know, if it wasn't 0-3-2 Jarvan, you still know he can engage for you.
Yep.
You still know he can provide value to your team, whereas the Olaf, you're scratching your head like, all right, so what are you doing here, really, besides being a ref?
Jarvan would actually be sick. You hit confirm at least one more Alarm ultimate. I see where you're going with that.
Like, Jarvan doesn't have to just be used against completely immobile champions. I mean, that's when he's best, but he doesn't just have to be that.
I'm trying to think of who actually has an ult like Jarvan, but keeps you in it. Like, I think Galio has that ult.
Camille.
Zyra has an ult. Yeah, Camille you got to stay in, but that's
You
for
mean
one
big
person.
circles?
Well, big circles, but ones you can't just walk out of. So yeah, it'd be Camille and Jarvan basically.
Mordekaiser now.
Oh yeah, more than now.
Big circle you can't leave.
It's like Veigar is basically the only one with a full
Yeah.
stun before ult, unless you hit a pulverize. Oh, he's out. Every ultimate in defense, unfortunately for Dardoch here. Getting himself to safety. It's not the longest cooldown, but it is one that a Olaf does need. Wasn't it you and I coming over? I think it was you who said the Olaf skin where he drops his armor when he ults.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he loses resistances. I still want to see that.
That would be really cool.
Just down into like barbarian leathers after having this godlike Mord skin on.
Oh, no leathers, all skin.
It's just a loincloth.
Yeah.
A
Go full ape on them.
to get the loincloth, he
Right.
drops his axes and goes brawler mode. Just
Right.
start
Oh my
punching.
God. Oh, he could actually go, you could go a little fantasy with it, and he takes off like he chucks arms, right? He takes off his arms and then just starts throwing at, because you'd have to throw axes still.
I would have just said he throws his Viking helmet.
All right, that works
To
too.
rip your own arm off.
Because there's a Nocturne skin somebody did a long time ago, like a custom skin of Nocturne who uses his legs as arms. Because you know how he has like a trail of shadow as legs. So the idea is that he broke them off and turned them into his blades, his umbral blades. Human Nocturne is the name.
I love it. You always gotta smell your feet though. That's gross. 10 to 6.
I live. That is the life I live. Until I discovered
I live
silver.
to smell my feet.
Until I discovered silver line socks, my life has changed.
There you go, everybody. Invest in silver. Not the ELO. 7,000 gold lead here. And you can see it easily in the inventories, in the KDAs. Even looking at more bouncy coming up. Not going to try to do that math just right. His turret goes down. Here comes the Ornhorn. The dinner bell is rung. One knock up. Nice hit onto Anda. He actually gets his Zanya's down so he doesn't get stunned by the final chapter. And man, it looked like a great start. But like you said, Crumbs, no initiation plus follow-up here for OpTic. And yeah, they have the Ornhorn, but 100 Thieves just turns around, delivers OpTic their own medicine in that fight.
On top of that, there's no crowd control. There's no ability besides Alarim that can stop a member of 100 Thieves from using an ability or auto-attacking or staying in place. So 100 Thieves is 100% damage uptime. There's no point to stopping damage until they die, which means they're going to be way more explosive. Whereas 100 Thieves, they've got Cocoon, they've got Nautilus's 4 abilities, you've got Callista's Fate's Call on top of bouncing around, and then Victor, and then Aatrox. It's just way too much. So
Forget about it.
Yeah, double knockups, Fate's Call into a double depth charge.
Depth charges have been disgusting. Really great work on those, along with the Fate's Call. It's like you never touch the ground in these fights.
This is what Yuumi looks like when she's behind.
Yeah, and you got your combo too, in this Yuumi Sivir lane. A lot of times I've said that Yuumi makes taking Baron even ahead as one of the scariest things. Obviously 100 Thieves is that much farther ahead, but her chase potential when you think you're about to back, her ability for the entire team to catch up makes it scary, but even here she can't provide that advantage. 100 Thieves really finding their stride here towards the back half of the split. Doing some great things. Like we said before, it wasn't really that everybody turned on and started playing amazing. It definitely seemed like the change for them was the comfortability in the players that were beside each other for the game, and then how they built that synergy together as a team.
Really? I think it was just Sunday.
Yeah? Well, yeah, no. The true shit, man. He has crushed games. But you're definitely seeing the rest of the map play more. So I got to give credit to them.
Yeah, he spills over the confidence. Because when you have a
True.
player that's so much better than the rest of the league, as a teammate of that player, you feel a sense of responsibility in not letting this person down. Because he is doing so much more than you or anybody else is doing. You're like, man, I need to step up, or I'm going to let Senpai someday down.
Someday. Can't do that. We actually heard Prismal talking at the beginning of this one. Hold that thought as they get down onto the AD carry. We heard Prismal talking, but he's going to be quiet for now as he is dead. Stunt's going to go down too. And 100 Thieves got a little too greedy in their positioning there, taking top lane. But a good bite back by OpTic to know they have to pressure.
they can engage on Prismal when he doesn't have flash. He's very easy to stick onto. You got Sivir, you've got Olaf that can chase him down. So as long as they select targets when they're not together, they can continue to do this. And they have wave clear now, so it's not the end of the world for OpTic Academy. It's just a very dark world.
See how this happens again. Who's getting bopped?
Yeah, the Fate's Call did not get to stop Olaf. Otherwise, I think he would have been able to kite back and heal up a bit with the Runans, the lifeline passive of the Maw, as well as Blade.
So nice job by Gate getting forward as well with Final Chapter. Gate, I like it. Get the Mage Eyes. Putting the options in for victory. Let's see the stacks. Rapid fire onto...
oh, what? First? Okay, well, I guess. So...
Are you doing the enchantment item?
Yeah, the enchantment. He enchanted Dardoch's Black Cleaver.
Well, he had the Infinity Edge for Scarlet so far in his 2 items. So he's got like 3,000 extra gold on the Rift in terms of that, but he's got to wait now, 14, 15, 16.
So I'm not 100% sure in it.
Okay.
Let me hold that thought.
Holding thought. Oh, there is no blue for you. Oh, no way he's going to get out alive. Dardoch's not letting that happen. They feel like they have the advantage on this fight. Stunt and Prismal in a really bad spot here, but Someday is going to try to turn this one around. The World Ender's on, and he is swinging. He's cutting, but he is not finding the results just yet, and that's going to be the one he needed to reset. Gets that nice heal, gets that nice speed on his World Ender to continue, and he is going to start cutting down the big guy of Alorum. Gates there hanging off, but he is down. The scratching post becomes OpTic. And a triple kill coming in for Someday.
The fight looked really good for OpTic, catching out a member by himself, the Elise not having a chance to use stopwatch or anything else.
But then there's that guy you were talking about in the top lane. Someday.
Someday. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The foreign player, the one that has come to save 100 Thieves from the promised land. And, well, he is now level 18. Just so huge.
I'm waiting for OpTic to spawn here to see where they're at. A level 16 Scarlet.
Dude, he
13 Asta, 5 levels ahead of the AD. When you're an AD and you shoot somebody that is 2 to 3 levels ahead of you, it's like hitting a brick wall. Imagine 5. This is crazy by Someday.
3 levels up on Alarim as well, so he's so fat. But yeah, the AD carry, so it's a really nice spell shield out of Asta that actually does a lot. And the fact that Soligo then has to flash over does buy a lot of time, but they're just so far behind at this stage of the game that it doesn't really matter that the fight started off with Elise going down. The rest of the team is not strong enough to combat such a ginormous HP lead.
3 hits to go down. 3 auto attacks to take the cat away.
Yeah, don't buy Someday here.
Oh, he's ready to go back in. He turned on all 3 members, looking him in the eye. OpTic about to get poked in the eye, and that is going to be Alarim going down. He gets taken out. That's the initiation they need. Teleports there, but it's 45 seconds before he's even back on the map. Now you can see a bit of that gold in 100 Thieves was picked up for those bounties, but still, Somedays is mounting. He basically makes up everybody else. The Hextech flash just over the missile. Nice cheeky play there, and 100 Thieves are making a bit of OpTic space theirs.
Man, I feel like Someday should be in the LCS.
I would, but it's actually, I think, not good for the team. It's like the way they play around in the resources distributed right now for both teams seem to be working perfectly. But you're right. But you're right. On paper, that name should be in the LCS.
Like, this guy is just crushing constantly. Is he being challenged enough? Are we worried he might get complacent?
I don't know. I don't think so. As we were saying before, Prismal said he thought it was weird to have somebody like Someday's caliber on the team. And maybe it is because of those expectations or what that person's doing or what they want to do. But then he said, you know, Someday's definitely using this as an opportunity to help everyone, make them better, start more communication. As Prismal and the other guys were talking, now Someday is one of the majority speakers. So it's really cool to actually hear that he's slotting in and wanting to improve everyone along with himself.
This is the Hail Mary out of OpTic Academy.
We'll see. Ornhorn goes down. They want to turn on the fight. Soligo's going to be the first one, but Dardoch really doesn't have a target just yet. He runs into the Chaos Storm and water in his eyes. Alarm goes down. Scarlet's on the back line. He gets zoomies in from Gate, and they're going to try to keep going fast to keep the damage down. Prismal's now in the eyes of Scarlet, and he dies. But there's Someday once again as he comes around. He just flaps his wing, kicks up the dust, and nobody has any idea what's going on in the fight. It's a 1v1 between the junglers, and the jungle's getting bungled. Dardoch's about to go down. He just burns it as we get the gold from Anda. They're inside the base. The minions, or should I say Winions, are doing the work here for 100 Thieves, and they are going to be able to do the damage, do the deed, 23-14, and they are able to take out OpTic Gaming.
Beautiful style points out of Anda at the end of that game. The Zanyas
You don't
to
look at
let
explosions.
the burn.
Look, look.
That hurts. That stings.
So great game all around. Definitely noticing that Someday is a huge factor for this team. You can't really ban it either. Aatrox is left up or other things that
You
he's
can't
going to
ban
play.
the player.
Can't ban the player. He's going to have something in that wheelhouse.
Yeah, oh boy. But I think Anda slowly stealing the show as well, because we keep talking about Someday, yet every time that Someday's popping off, it's Anda right behind him with a better scoreline or just doing some crazy shenanigans around the
Yep.
map. Really reading the game well.
It's good. Thinking about it right now, I can just hear Anda triple kill or double kill. So many on that Elise that game. As we jump back into it to review and cast your mind back into the play, we go back to 10 minutes in where we saw that bot lane get a beautiful swing in their favor for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it starts off with a great 2v2 all in, and then Dardoch thinking, do I have the HP and the damage as AD Olaf to turn this around? Unfortunately not. And then he ends up getting outplayed by the very spider. You try to kill, this really is my worst nightmare, that you try to kill the spider, its son realizes, wait a minute, I can just kill
Still
you.
there.
And then pow,
Hanging down right in front of you.
suddenly you're $1 million in debt, bankrupt, and you'd rather die.
From a spider?
Yeah.
Oh, you kill a spider or something like that?
No, because the poison, the anti-venom is super expensive for all sorts of poisonous animals. That's the scare. I'm not scared about dying. I'm scared about the bankruptcy part of it.
You heard it here. Now to 22 minutes in, we get a replay of 100 Thieves taking the fight and the Baron.
And it starts with I believe it is a package available? No, Corky just walks in. But boom! Ornhorn
Oh,
gets
that's the
in
sick
here,
knock-up.
And the bounce house from 100 Thieves is stronger than Alorem, who is only able to contribute his Ornhorn to the fight.
Really great stuff coming out of 100 Thieves. They definitely look like a team that's going to start putting a few more kind of, let's say, notes on the league or reasons why people need to up their game. Because having Someday there is definitely making people better, but you can't just be like, I'll get better next game. They have to figure out a way to start stopping this top lane and make it effect the rest of the
Exactly.
map.
Right? You
That's
have to.
tough.
You go into it thinking we're going to be at a disadvantage in the top lane. How do we either manage it or beat it? And that will force the scene to grow.
Absolutely. So looking at kind of what 100 Thieves continues to do with their compositions, do you feel like they just continue to focus what it is for Someday, or is there power that teams are missing across the board where they should be kind of saying like, hey, actually, if we focus here, it's another crutch that could put 100 Thieves behind?
I love the fact that they did not put everything on Someday. That the first gank from Anda was bottom lane. That it was
That's
a
true.
composition that allowed Kalista and Nautilus to really shine. And then Someday gets to be the, oh my god, then we have to go through him as well. So I like that they're diversifying
Heck
and not focusing entirely on him, because it would make them a one-dimensional team and nobody would learn out of that. So the idea is, how do you get good around Someday and not how do you just rely on him to carry you every game?
Right on. All right, to hear more about that victory, I'd like to welcome Kelsey Moser to the broadcast via Discord. Kelsey, thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's great to be on broadcast.
Congratulations on the win. Really solid games coming out from the team lately. What seems to kind of be just gelling for everyone? I was kind of saying during the cast that the teams have swapped and not like a ton of skill was given to each team, but it feels like the players are gelling more and kind of having fun overall.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit rough during Super Week when we had a different roster every day, but after they had a week of scrims together, I think they just kind of slotted together. A lot of these players came here from the other team because they're working on their comms, and I think that that just allowed them to work on it together to find a good system. And obviously, they still had some synergy from playing in LCS together last bit. So.
Cool.
So Anda was a player that started somewhat lackluster. We really didn't see him be too inspired, really. And suddenly, just out of nowhere, he's just hard carrying so many games. What happened in that? Is it a matter of getting to play with Someday and building that synergy, something you did, or what's really been the trajectory of growth for this player? What caused that?
I think Andy is a really smart jungler, and it was just over time he started to think about the jungle meta a little bit differently. And so instead of just how can I punish the enemy jungler more and deny more camps, it was how can I snowball in my lanes to get plates better. And I think that transition just is really showing through. So that's why we see him play like super well on these aggressive champion picks coming out. And of course, this Edge 1A last week.
Nice, the EU mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, I don't even know what the word I wanted to use. It's like a no joke to somebody, but joke wasn't I wanted. Everybody knows Someday's in the top lane, and he's very good. Now to my question. Looking at how the team plays around him, is it actually a focus to say some games won't be around Someday because we need to strengthen everyone, or is it pretty easy to say we can win directly through him?
I think it's like both work. It really just depends on the composition. I think this week Callista Nautilus really made sense to us. We played it twice into Yumi, so it worked really effectively. And in that situation, you play around the bot lane, you get the early dragons, you snowball the game through there. And if we can play that way and we can also play around Someday, then it's pretty good for us. So it's just about kind of transitioning to every aspect of the lane, working on our jungler synergy all across the board, and then we can play really well in Academy.
I've got one question for you. What is the most satisfying thing about being a coach for you?
You took the words out of my mouth.
It was satisfying or coach?
I think probably the most satisfying thing about being a coach is just watching the players sort of progress and come to conclusions on their own. So just like get better and better, and just as long as you're finding some way to lead them to the right decision, whether it's telling them what to do or just asking the right questions, then it's really great to just see them improve. That's probably the most satisfying feeling. So
awesome. Well, definitely seeing success in those areas. Kelsey, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, we have got one more game coming up right after the break. Team Liquid Academy takes on Counter Logic Gaming. Can you believe it? Don't go anywhere. Oh, Asa goes down. Looks like they need this item, Crumbs. Inject into the game now. Quick. Oh! Now onto Asa, looking to take him down under the turret. 200 HP there. A heal coming in from Gate as the zoomies go on. And another double kill for Anda at 4-0-4. Here comes the Ornhorn. The dinner bell is rung. One knock up. Nice hit onto Anda. He actually gets his Zanyas down so he doesn't get stunned by the final chapter. And man, it looked like a great start, but like you said, Crumbs, no initiation plus follow-up. Ornhorn goes down. They want to turn on the fight. Soligo's going to be the first one, but Dardoch really doesn't have a target just yet. He runs into the Chaos Storm and water in his eyes. Aloran goes down. Scarlet's on the back line. He gets zoomies in from Gate, and they're going to try to keep going fast to keep the damage down. Prismal's now in the eyes of Scarlet, and he dies. But there's Someday once again.